Hey folks, I'm your host BKP, and it's Tuesday night. Team FYN Sports and Circuit World of East LJ present Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk. We want to thank Shane's Rib Shack and Pepsi providing the meal tonight and the drinks. So I always want to thank them. We have with us tonight Bobcats head coach Casey Wingard and defensive coordinator Coach Flowers is with us. Before we get started, how about this beautiful fall, cool high school football weather? Before we get started, let's go over last week's scores around the region. We're talking Quad A Region 6 football, and we have Northwest Whitfield was over the Pickens Dragons 38-21. Ridgeland was over Heritage 35-14, and Southwest County Whitfield High School, the Raiders 39-0 Bobcats. Coach Wingard, before we get started, now I'm really have looked forward to this show. I really have, because you and I, we've been coming here every week, and different coaches coming. Coach Flowers has been here several times, and these young men. Sure. And we've been talking about the things that have been working that are not translating to people seeing it. Okay, so I mean the fans. Okay, right? We've been talking about things that you guys have been working on, and the little things that you've been able to share, you, Coach Taylor, Coach Flowers, and the others, saying these are things that these guys here are staying focused, they're working hard, they're not giving up, their attitude is where it needs to be, positive, and we're seeing these little things develop. Regardless of scoreboard, saying it like that, we've seen a lot of that come together. We were able to see a lot of that come together Friday night, did we not?
Yeah, we had a really good outing Friday. Again, the scoreboard, of course, not what we want at all. But we had a lot of small victories throughout the entire game. We saw a lot of highlights and things that we want to harness as far as a team and keep improving on, and we want to celebrate those little successes and keep building it, kind of like a snowball going downhill. We want to keep adding to that to eventually get to where we need to be.
A lot of these guys, majority of the team, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, that's the majority of the team. And these guys are, when we talk about the little victories, let me talk to you, Coach Flowers, on your defensive side right now. Let's just say it, call it like it is. Played a game with no running clock. Right? Right. No running clock. No matter how that sounds. Got into the first half, got into the second, no running clock. Your defense came through, slowed some things down. Talk about all the positive things that you possibly can about what you saw this last Friday night out of your defense that you've maybe been waiting to see also.
Yeah, what I'm pleased about is we're progressively getting better throughout the season. You know, even good teams, they can peak at the wrong time, and I feel like, you know, we're just getting better as the season goes on, and that's all we can ask for right now.
Coach, again, up to this point, putting drives together, getting first downs, and getting first downs, not 3 and out. I mean, would it be safe to say that getting I think you got nine first downs in the game, kept the defense off the field a little bit. Right. Was that something big that these guys just needed a break, not 3 and out?
Oh yeah, that was a big deal. You know, just keeping us off the field, and you know, most of our guys go both ways, but there are those players that, you know, if they can come out fresh on defense, it's a huge deal. Absolutely.
What about getting some offensive plays back-to-back, some first downs, stuff like that? Talk about what is happening on that front line. Coach Taylor, translate Coach Taylor for us tonight of what was happening on that front line.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But channel him right in here.
I can do it pretty well. No. He's been working with the offensive line and just going over their rules and putting in little folds here and there with the different play calling, plus looking at the defense and how he wants to attack them and what helps us best for what we have on offense. Choosing the different plays, opening up the passing game a little bit, kind of draw them back from loading the box up as much as they had. in the previous weeks. And just building confidence with David, with the offensive line, with the receivers, because we've gone into each week, kind of been playing musical backfield due to injuries or people moving around. So we finally had 2 weeks of just solid, great practice weeks with that same set backfield, and we're able to go out and produce 9 first downs, and we want to keep progressing towards moving the ball, keeping the defense off the field, and doing our assignments.
Folks, we're joined in this first half. Quarterback David Smith is with us, and corner Brett Bennett. David, it's already been a long season. You guys have got a lot of work in, but probably one of the biggest things is everybody keeping their attitude up there and staying that, keeping the team together to get to last Friday's game. What was it like as quarterback? I guess the word finally, I got to say it like that, to finally get some first downs, moving the football, crossing the 50-yard line, as silly as that may sound in some ways, but those were big positives. Talk about that.
It was a lot more fun than, going 3 and out every play or every drive, but people just stayed positive, and we just kept running the plays, and they just opened up.
What did you see from behind center? Because you're the guy that's behind center, been there all year. What did you see with your front line and some of the other guys that just really started coming together Friday night for you behind center?
It was pretty exciting. They just got with it, and now they know what to do. They're not missing assignments, and they're doing really good now.
Missed assignments. That's when you show up on Monday morning. Start working on those missed assignments. Corner Brett Bennett here. Brett, talk about the defensive side of the ball as far as not having to your offense not having to be 3 and out, and actually getting a little bit of break and it not being so much pressure to be in there as long as you normally are on the defensive side.
Yeah, definitely. Without the offense just going 3 and out, it gave the defense fresh legs, and we were just going around just playing ball.
And it gave you an opportunity to come out while they're on the field and actually have coaches go over and discuss what they were able to see out there and have enough time instead of being right back out there. Was that big, being able to talk to the coaches a minute before you went back out?
Yeah, that was big. Just getting everything together, and then instead of just offense not doing, just defense going out there and doing a good job.
Coach, you have a short sideline. There's not a lot of guys up and down the sideline this year. And what is it? And I want to hear from both of you, from both sides of the ball. What is it like on Monday? Because I hear every coach on Friday night when you get together say, "Hey, anybody hurting? Report it now and be here at 10 o'clock in the morning. Any injuries or anybody got to?" So you do have some guys. It's football. You get in this part of the year is when injuries start taking place or guys are hurting in different ways. What is it like having to go through maybe every Monday morning and a guy having to start playing another position because you don't have the depth? Is that a challenge every week?
It's a huge challenge, but I was thinking about this morning. This group of Gilmer football players might go down as the toughest Gilmer team ever. But we've really had the opportunity to kind of simplify practice, and usually you just say, okay, all the outside linebackers, y'all go over here, and now it's okay, you. And so we know where every single person is at practice, and it's not a good thing, but there are some positives to it.
Southeast Whitfield, I'm just going to say it like this. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it out there, okay? Some teams, let's see how I phrase this, Coach. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
You with me?
Yeah, we can.
All right, okay. So some teams, they may pull the throttle back a little bit and say, you know what, we're not going to go all the way. But Southeast Whitfield, they played these guys all the way. So there's another thing that they need to really be proud of is we're talking about a team that played them all the way.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't stop playing them and didn't intend to.
Yeah. And
what was that like?
That was one of our small victories that we talked about as a team and a group, just because, and you said it also, that's the first, second game we didn't have a running clock at halftime, just because we stayed fighting with them, we stayed in the battle. Open it up, the opening up. We always preach next play mentality and kick off, and they run it back right out the gate. Kind of took the wind off of them. So we're screaming on the sideline, and kids are being leaders and stepping up. Next play mentality, keep going forward, and throwing everything at them. Them being in a fight. It was positive to see the way we handled it, because I noticed from even David and a couple of players, the attitude from first quarter all the way to the fourth quarter was impressive. They were upbeat, they were focused, they were zoned in, they were working together, and it wasn't, it wasn't kind of pulling teeth with everything, working towards that. So it's kind of seeing them go through that was pretty good. But, teams are going to throw everything at us that they got, and it's our job to stop them or give it back to them. And that's what I tell my kids and then preach to them as well. And you gotta play the game.
Guys, before we go into our first break, I want to ask you, David, coming off a really good game, and going through what you're going through this season and coming off a good game this yesterday, what did you see Friday night? You felt very optimistic, and you said, when I get there Monday, you want to work on this. You want to improve here yourself. What were you working on?
I still need to work on my my read, and some of my passes were low in the dirt or too long. Just gotta fix those, and should be good.
I've had David here since he's a freshman. But I tell you what, he'll make co-host one day.
Yeah,
he's a real talker.
Blossoming out.
Yeah. Okay. Same for you, Brett Bennett. As far as like Friday night, taking that positive away, taking a feel good with the team away. What did you show up Monday morning saying you wanted to work on, you wanted to improve at this week in practice?
When I came in Monday, I visualized just on fixing how to go up against different routes and how to prepare against them.
Both of you, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. After Friday's game, what was the attitude of the team? How good do all of you feel after Friday night's game?
After this Friday?
Yeah.
It was pretty positive. We played a lot better. The game didn't get too out of hand, and it was more positive than it has been all season.
Same.
Yeah, I felt like we won, despite what the scoreboard said.
That's okay. I like that. It's how we feel. And like Coach said, this could be one of the toughest Bobcat teams to ever take the field. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Gilmer and Northwest Whitfield. We're going to switch Whitfields, and we're going to go to Northwest this coming Friday night. And so we're going to talk about that game with Coach. We're going to have two more Bobcats on the couch when we return. Take us to break.
Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Day Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Day Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Day Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hi, I'm Casey McGraw, the General Manager of Schottenkirk Ford. We're going to start doing something here at Schottenkirk that we're really excited about. You may have already noticed our Facebook page, the new edition of the 360-degree videos. This allows the user to control the video in virtual reality and see it from any angle you choose, simply by moving your device or scrolling with your finger or your mouse. At Schottenkirk, we've decided to take this groundbreaking technology and apply it to the car shopping experience. Now, if you're interested in a new truck, a family car, or a brand new convertible Mustang, you can simply log on to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and see it for yourself in full HD 360-degree detail. Or contact one of our sales associates who will send you the link directly. If you like what you see and want to take it for a test drive, simply stop on by and take it for a spin. At Schottenkirk Ford, we're committed to not only keep up with new market technology, but we strive to be innovators, while always keeping your comfort and convenience as our #1 priority. So follow us on Facebook, check out our new 360 VR videos, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win, win.
Hey folks, we're back. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means? It's Bobcat Turf Talk, Gilmer Bobcat Turf Talk, presented by Team FYN Sports and Circuit World of East LJ. We always want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing a meal. They've done it every year. We want to just give them a shout out. We appreciate them so much for the way they support the Gilmer Bobcats every week with a meal, and also Pepsi for the drinks. And all of our Team FYN Sports sponsors. Before we go any further, let me just remind you, Team FYN Sports. You can follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports, and you can also like our Facebook page, Team FYN Sports. We're joined by head coach, Bobcats head coach Casey Wingard, defensive coordinator Coach Flowers is with us, and now on the couch with us is right tackle Tyson Elliott and left guard Dylan Ellington. Got it. Elliott and Ellington. Yeah. Don't do that anymore, Coach. All right? Something at you. Yeah, just, okay. Now, let's get back. Let me go over the region. We're talking Quad A, Region 6 football. Now, Friday night, here's what's upcoming around the league Friday night. Heritage will be at Lafayette. Pickens Dragons will be at Ridgeland. And Gilmer's traveling over to take on Northwest Whitfield. Coach, let's jump into that one because you played Southwest Whitfield. Good football team. But right there jumbled up with Pickens, Northwest Whitfield, Heritage, and you've already played Heritage and Ridgeland. You've got Northwest Whitfield that's coming off a win against Pickens, and Pickens is a solid football team. Right. You got to face them Friday night. What are you seeing in film? And I understand their starting quarterback's out for the season, I guess, maybe. Right. Mm-hmm. And so their backup quarterback comes in and obviously was able to get past the Dragons Friday night. Right. What are you seeing there?
Well, with the backup quarterback, he's very elusive. He can throw very, very well. And then his steps and everything that he runs the offense, he doesn't look like a backup quarterback. He's very poised and looks like he can take charge and has on the film that we've seen with him. pretty solid. And then up front, their offensive line is very, very well coached up, very good at their blocking assignments, and they've got a really good running back that can bust it, make a hole if there's not one there, or get out in space and create havoc there in space. So, they got a sound offense, and defensively they're, very sound as well for defense. And, I told the kids this is a challenge this week to be able to put yourself in the right spot to have success.
Coach Flowers, let me double on that. I talked to head coach Parker last week. When you're preparing for Northwest Whitfield has a D1 quarterback and he gets hurt, and that's the film you're working off of, and that's the film you're preparing for, and your backup quarterback, you don't have a lot of film to go to because it doesn't have a lot of reps. Last week they didn't really have the film to go to for prep. You feel better this week that you got a good full game of film on this guy to prepare?
Yes, we've gotten to learn more about him. He's, like Coach said, a very efficient quarterback, system quarterback, and he doesn't have the feel of a backup quarterback. He's very poised. He'll step into the pocket. He'll keep it running if he has to, and we just got to make sure that we play to their weaknesses and to our strengths. Obviously,
last week it made a change. Okay, it made a change. It's just realistically when you're working with one quarterback and you go to another, and that kid's strengths, so you develop an offense around those strengths in a lot of ways. What will be different, just day and night difference, in 2 weeks ago with Northwest Whitfield and what you're going to see, what you've been prepared for, what you're going to see Friday night? What are some of the day and night kind of changes that you may see?
Well, it looks like they've simplified the offense a little bit more. That's conducive to him, but it's just as effective. Where they might not motion as much. They've really simplified things for the quarterback, and he does what they've put in his hands very well.
Guys, let me get back to you and some things. David, let's start with you. Friday night, this past Friday night against Southeast Whitfield, a lot of positives, a lot of positives. A lot of things that took place that have not taken place in the first several games of the year. You are on the front line, right tackle. You turned some back-to-back first downs.
Yes, we did.
And so what really came together this Friday night for your offensive line? Because moving the ball, crossing the 50, keeping your defense off the field a little bit, things are coming together, and I'm glad I got two linemen here to talk about it. So talk about that.
Friday, we all took a step forward. The skill, they made some awesome plays for us. We just worked as a unit. We got our timing down right. We had some good blocks. We had some good and bad, but we're just going to base off of the good and get better for next week.
Dylan, same thing for you, Dylan. What happened where on Friday night? Because obviously you guys are seeing some you show up on Monday, and if somebody's hurt a little bit this way or that way, you've got to shift, and all of a sudden you got to play a new position or whatever. And that makes it tough for a line. A line needs to work together all year, but you guys have been adjusting to the challenge every week. What was happening Friday night that was different? Give us something that was happening different that was coming together.
Friday night, I felt like we finally had everybody in who needed to be in. We were getting our assignments correct. Our fundamentals did slip a little on the line, but we were getting our assignments better, so we were able to still just push through and get those first downs.
We've talked every week here about the little success on the field that's not translating into the stands. It's not translating to the fans aren't picking it up. It's not showing up on the scoreboard. But head coach Taylor here several times, he's talked about working with the front line. He's talked about the little things that are not translating that we don't see out here. Are those things starting to come together, those pieces that they translated Friday night that you guys have been working so hard on all year?
Yeah, they're starting to come together very well. All most fans see is really the lights on the scoreboard. They don't tell the full story. We've been improving as a unit. We've had quite a bit of injuries, but luckily we've had some good athletes that have been able to adjust very quickly to the new positions.
Same thing for you, Dylan? It's coming together, all the little things that you guys have been working on all year that are positives kindly got put together Friday night?
Yes, sir. I'd definitely say that. It was starting to.
I want to go into attitude because you guys, and we do this show every week, and we make sure that we're positive and we're encouraging, and the team, we lift you up. There's a lot of noise out there. You guys are bright young men, and you know there's a lot of noise, and you hear noise, but you guys are not haven't translated that to the field and amongst each other. You guys have stayed positive. So Friday night, how pumped up were you guys after you just really started playing, some things happen? What is the attitude of the team today? Both of you take that.
The attitude of the team's improving. We're trying just to work more together as a unit and get better. Coach always tells us, don't listen to the water around you. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say bad things about us. Win, lose, good, bad, it's they'll always say something about us. So.
What about yourself? How do you feel about the attitude? Was there kindly a feeling Friday night of, hey, you know what, we can play these guys?
Yes, sir.
Is that
for sure?
Huh?
For sure. When we come off, when the offensive line comes off, we always talk to each other, and usually it's, hey, we can do this. Like this, we can actually move the ball on these guys. So we're always keeping a good attitude and just getting back out on the field.
Do you think Friday night, what took place Friday night, is going to translate to this Friday night and throughout the end of the season, that, you know what, we're a solid unit, and we can play this game on Friday nights, and we can be productive? You feel that?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I feel like it'll translate pretty well.
Northwest Whitfield's pretty tough. Got a good defense coming at you Friday night. You're watching some film. Anything particular that you see on the defensive side that has you concerned, or you got to work on a little bit, that these guys, the way these guys come up, get in the box on you? What are you seeing for Friday night?
Well, me personally, I got to work on getting to the linebackers a little bit more. They're running a 4-3, I believe. So I just got to work on getting to the second level and getting lower on my blocks.
What about you?
For me, I had a position change this week. I went from center to right tackle, so now I'm trying to focus on what I have to do at right tackle, and I've been looking to see what those ends and those outside linebackers, the middle linebacker, what they can do, and I just need to see, how I'm going to match up right there.
Young team. These guys. How many seniors, you mind me asking, are on the squad right now? 3?
4.
4 seniors. 4 seniors. That means the sideline is packed full of juniors, sophomores, freshmen. Yep. How encouraging is that in the other side, that these young men are stepping up to the challenge? Now, let's not leave out the seniors in any way whatsoever. No. I'm not absolutely. I want to highlight them in a positive way. But how encouraging is it, Coach, that you've got, when you look over the sideline, you say, man, I've got juniors, sophomores, I got guys that have guts.
Right.
Right. I got guys that are not giving up.
Yep.
What's that like?
It's positive. It's like Coach Flowers said. This is a very tough, close-knit group of kids that no matter what happens around them, no matter who says what to them, they show up on that field Friday night ready to play football. And that's what excites me, knowing that they're, you got 4 seniors. We want to see them out the right way because they've earned it and deserve it. And then you see the younger juniors and sophomores and freshmen stepping up and filling shoes that, some might not have been ready for, but they're thrown to the wolves, thrown to it, and they've responded well. So that's the positive thing we as coaches talk about all the time. This is a very young group, and it's exciting to see those little success victories throughout a game at practice, knowing that we've got how many months to work with them. All this kind of stuff comes together and just keep it rolling. So we always want to build on the positive, keep everybody out, and keep showing up every day to do our job and take a step forward, not trying to slide and take a step back.
How is it keeping the noise away from them on the field Monday during practice, and talk to them about keep blocking out that noise out there of anything that's being said in a negative way where the team is concerned? How are these guys responding to that?
Very well. I don't think I really don't. I mean, there's not too much. They hear little bits and pieces from so and so and so and so walking the hallways, but they're the problem. They're not helping the team. Those are the ones, the kids. They're the problem because they're not out there, putting themselves out on the line, playing for a team and becoming one. And they know that. They understand that. So really the community fans and stuff have gotten behind these kids a lot. They know that, they're a young team and all that stuff, and it's great to see all the support that they do get. And plus we want to focus in on that. Look at all this positive stuff that they're getting. Even the kids at home and in the stands and stuff, a lot of support comes through there. And you got one or two of the kids and stuff like that you always hear stuff, but as a group, they know better. We've passed that point as far as a football team to let any stuff like that affect us now, because we've preached it from day one, going in even to off season, into the summer to now. This is our football team. Look around you. This is the people. These are the people that you go into battle with, and that's what matters and that's what counts. So it's been a real good thing.
Well, we have a lot of fun here. The fans know that. They've been out there for 4 years and doing the show. We have a lot of fun, and we're just going to, continue to have fun. And we don't pick on anybody, and we don't give anybody a hard time, and we don't call anybody out. You understand?
Yeah.
How's Coach Flowers doing?
He's doing really good.
Okay, just checking.
He's doing okay.
I'm sorry.
He's making.
You don't know. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry.
Not coming back. I'm just going to come back.
Hey,
come on, Coach.
I thought he was going to mention pottery.
No, Coach, no, you don't know us. We get together. We have a good time, Coach. We have a good time. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm your host, BKP, and you've been watching Turf Talk, Gilmer Turf Talk, every Tuesday night from Circuit World here in East LJ. Brought to you by Team FYN Sports. We want to thank Shane's Rib Shack and Pepsi for the meal. We want to thank all the players tonight, David Smith, Brett Bennett, Tyson Elliott, and Dylan Ellington, and Coach Flowers and Coach Wingard. We want to thank them for coming every week. Don't forget, folks, your Bobcats will be 7:30 game time kickoff over at Northwest Whitfield. And I want to say something in closing. Sometimes I say the noise, but I do want to end tonight and thank each and every one of those very supportive Bobcat fans in the community. We know you're out there. We know you support these young men, and I want to make sure we leave on a positive note. Hey, every once in a while there's some noise, but let's not forget all those Bobcat fans that come out and support these young men and stay positive. Team FYN Sports, always promoting young athletes in a positive way. Again, I'm your host, and I think that's it, Coach. Good?
Good. I'm good.
All right, everybody's good, so we're out of here.